the constitutional picture, Preeti Chaudhary, my colleague, joins me, and she just raised a very interesting question off air. She said, Champai Soren, Hemant Soren resigning, Champai Soren being appointed the leader of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha parliamentary party, but the governor of the state has not yet asked him to officiate as the chief minister of Jharkhand. So technically at the moment, you've got a chief minister who's resigned and has gone to jail, and you've got a leader of a parliamentary party who has yet not been sworn in as chief minister or asked to officiate in his place. So technically at the moment, Preeti is suggesting that Jharkhand should be under governor's rule effectively, that you don't have the sitting chief minister, even though he's resigned, is now in jail, and the person who's supposed to take over from him has not been sworn in at the moment. And the governor could well sit on Champai Soren's claim and maybe put him through a test, a confidence test. But Preeti, that's my sense, that the governor, if the party's legislature party has chosen a leader, and if that leader commands the support of a majority, JMM, Congress and RJD in this case, you would expect in the normal course that that person would take over. This is what has happened in the past with O. Paneerselvam in Tamil Nadu when Jayalalitha went to jail. It happened with Rabri Devi when Lalu went to jail. The question is whether the governor can exercise his or her discretion and say there's a constitutional crisis in the state at the moment.
But also what's happening, Rajdeep, in which is possibly different than the other scenarios that you quoted, is that the BJP is coming and saying that all the MLAs are not on board with Champai Soren as the choice to lead the JMM coalition in Jharkhand. So interesting in that concept. But having...
But that, the BJP can't decide that. That True. Will have to... If the JMM MPs are all together...
Paraded, yes, and they went to parade themselves.
If they go and parade themselves, they do have the majority at the moment in Jharkhand. We'll bring you those numbers in the Jharkhand Assembly at the moment.
So 49 in all, 29 of the JMM, 16 of the Congress, and that is why one seems to suggest that there could be a Congress deputy in all of this. That is what Sabot Kansahai also indicated, and one each of the left, NCP and the RJD. And this is at least part of the current India alliance. They are still together.
So you would expect from what you're saying that they would therefore have to prove their majority on the floor of the House. If they don't prove their majority on the floor of the House, then you have a full-blown constitutional crisis.
I'm just suggesting, yeah. No, things going to get interesting is all I'm suggesting.
Well, you see, you've got Jharkhand goes to the polls in December this year. So it's not too far away. It's about 10 months away that Jharkhand will be in an election cycle. Does the BJP want to wait till then? There are two views within the BJP also, interestingly, Preeti. There's the Babulal Marandi camp, which has taken a much more aggressive stand against Hemant Soren, which has been wanting to take on Hemant Soren. And there are the likes of Arjun Munda and Raghubar Das, who have been less inclined to throw a sitting chief minister in jail. They were even worried about what impact it might have on the Adivasi community, not just in Jharkhand, but in other neighboring states. But the BJP has taken a conscious call that this is the direction they are going. Interestingly, a similar conscious call was taken in Bihar. There too, there were two views in a way within the BJP state unit. Some said we don't want to tie up with Nitish Kumar. Others said we can now use Nitish Kumar to win the battle in 2024, and then we'll see what happens in 2025. So, I think there are divisions within the party, but the view is very clear now that he's been arrested. It's for the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha to hold together. Can they really hold together? There was some talk that Hemant Soren might do a Lalu and appoint his wife, but then she would have to seek re-election within 6 months. They were not sure whether that would happen, given that there are assembly elections in 9 months. So they've gone with Champai Soren, who's a close confidant, not so much even of Hemant Soren, but of his father.
True.
He comes from the vintage of Shipu Soren. And I was just speaking to one of my colleagues in the newsroom. I recall, Preeti, that in the mid-1990s, the JMM was again in the news for the wrong reasons. That was the time when their MPs were accused, 4 of them, and convicted for bribing, for accepting a bribe in a vote of no confidence against Narasimha Rao's government. And one of those MPs had actually put the money that he had got into his bank account. So it was almost as if taking black money and trying to make it white. Caught out. There was Suraj Mandal, there was Mr. Mahato, there was Shipu Soren, and they were all caught out in that case in the past. So it's exactly 30 years later,
Well, 30 years later, but one will only know what really comes about, because it's not just the JMM, it's also the Soren family. Because one of the reasons seemingly is suggested that Champai Soren was the probable choice is because Sita Soren, the wife of the eldest son of Mr. Shibu Soren, as well as Basant Soren, the younger brother of Hemant Soren, were not very happy that Kalpana Soren, the wife of Hemant Soren, actually take charge of the party. And Champai Soren was possibly also a candidate in that sense.